The Grand Canyon mattered because it was not just a beautiful landscape. It was a massive geographic cut across the Colorado Plateau where a river slowly turned flat highland into one of the deepest natural barriers in North America. This was a place shaped by depth. The Colorado River did not simply flow through the land, it carved downward, exposing cliffs, side canyons, and steep walls that made nearby places difficult to reach from each other. The Grand Canyon turned distance into difficulty. The North Rim and South Rim looked close from above, but the canyon between them forced people, roads, trails, and settlements to follow the shape of the land instead of moving directly. The central feature was the river cut. Over long periods of time, the Colorado River carved into the plateau, creating a deep corridor where water became both the force that shaped the canyon and the line that divided the landscape. The canyon walls changed movement. Instead of crossing the region in straight lines, people often had to move along the rims, descend through difficult trails, follow side canyons, or search for the few places where the canyon could be crossed. The North Rim and South Rim are close in straight-line distance, but the canyon makes them feel like separate worlds. A short gap on a map became a long journey because depth, cliffs, and limited access controlled movement. Crossing points were limited, and that made them important. In a landscape where the canyon blocked easy travel, bridges, river crossings, and narrow access zones became strategic points that shaped routes across northern Arizona. The South Rim became the main visitor gateway because geography made access easier there. Roads, viewpoints, trails, rail connections, and services could gather along the rim, while the inner canyon remained difficult, steep, and protected by depth. The Grand Canyon can be understood through three forces. The river cut the land, the canyon divided movement, and rare access points shaped how people entered, crossed, settled near, studied, and protected this landscape. Some landscapes shape history by blocking movement. The Grand Canyon did it through depth. A river cut into the plateau and created a massive natural barrier. This was not just a wide valley. The Colorado River carved downward, turning high plateau country into cliffs, walls, and deep canyon space. The key effect was separation. Places close from above became far and real travel because the canyon forced people to follow rims, trails, and rare descent routes. The Grand Canyon shows how a river can become a geographic force. It did not just shape the land, it shaped movement, access, settlement, and the way people experienced the American West. Some places look close from above, but geography makes them far apart. At the Grand Canyon, the North Rim and South Rim became two separate worlds. The South Rim became the easier gateway. Roads, viewpoints, trails, and visitor routes gathered here because access was simpler than crossing the canyon. But across the canyon, the North Rim stood higher, colder, and more isolated. The gap was not just distance, it was depth, cliffs, and difficult movement. This is why the Grand Canyon shaped movement. It divided nearby places into separate rim worlds, forcing routes, communities, and tourism to follow the canyon's geography. Some barriers do not stop movement everywhere. They force movement into a few narrow points. At the Grand Canyon, crossings were rare, and that made them important. This was the key problem. The canyon was long, deep, and difficult to descend, so people could not simply cross wherever they wanted. Because crossing was so difficult, the few workable places mattered far more than their size. Bridges, ferries, and narrow passage zones became route controls in a divided landscape. That is why the Grand Canyon shaped regional movement. It was not just a canyon to admire. It was a barrier that forced long detours and made a few crossing points strategically important. Some landscapes show history in ruins. The Grand Canyon shows history in stone. Its cliffs reveal layers of earth-time stacked like pages. This was not just a deep cut in the land. As the Colorado River carved downward, the canyon walls exposed older and older rock layers. That made the canyon more than a barrier. It became a natural record where color, height, and cliff lines showed different chapters of geological time. This is why the Grand Canyon became a symbol of deep time. Geography did not only shape movement here, it revealed the age of the land itself. The Grand Canyon shaped history because geography turned a river valley into a massive obstacle. The Colorado River cut deep into the plateau, creating cliffs, walls, and rim worlds that made direct movement difficult. Places that looked close from above became separated by depth, steep slopes, and long detours. The canyon did not just divide the land visually, it changed how people could move through the region. That depth controlled how people moved, crossed, visited, studied, and protected the canyon. Rare crossing points became important. The South Rim became the main gateway, and the canyon became a natural monument of the American West. More than scenery, it was geography shaping human access. The Grand Canyon shows how one river cutting through one plateau could create a landscape where depth controlled routes, tourism, science, and memory.